Hey photographers, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and I make videos all about creating a photography business that you love. In today's video, we're talking about what happens when a client says yes to you. After you send over your prices, they say yes, we want to move forward, we want to book you. What happens next? So I'm breaking down all the things what happens between when a client books with you all the way to their photo shoot day, and how to educate them and lead them well so that they feel really confident the day of the photo shoot. But first, just for clicking on today's video, I have a freebie for you. If you haven't grabbed it already, I have a free email template of what I actually send to my clients when they first ask me to see my prices. So I show you the exact template I use that you can copy, paste, customize, and hopefully that helps convert a little bit more if you're struggling with booking more clients. So let's get into the video. Okay, so we are breaking this down so that you can create a system for yourself. To have a photography business that runs well and runs smoothly, you'll find that you'll be creating lots of little systems for yourself, and that's on purpose. The more you can write down processes that you can repeat for every client, the better off you're going to be in the long run, because I want you to build yourself up for success. Because it's easy to kind of like put pieces together last minute for one or two clients, but we want you to have clients rolling in, and once they start doing that, it gets hard to juggle everybody if you don't have a finite answer and a process of when things happen. So what we're gonna do is talk about what you need to be writing down to create a system for yourself to onboard new clients. So let's start with the first step. So after a client looks over your prices and they say, yes, we want to move forward, write down the first thing that you need them to do. For example, for me, the first thing I need to do after they say, yes, they want to move forward is sign a contract. Before they're officially a client of mine, I need to get that contract signed. So I send them over a link to sign the contract, and I also schedule out their session retainer because I require a session retainer. And then in their invoice, it'll say when that's due. Typically for me, that's 2 weeks after they sign the contract, unless we've talked about it otherwise or worked out a previous arrangement. To do this, I use the customer or client software management called HoneyBook. I've talked about them before, but they are the client software management that I use, and I've been loving them. I have a link down in the description box below if you want to try it for 20% off. It's an all-inclusive kind of hub for your client, and once you get used to their kind of system, all the steps I'm going to be talking about today I implement with HoneyBook, and it makes my life a lot easier. But you do not need anything fancy either. You can do this pen and paper. I did this for years, just the old-fashioned way of sending emails and all the things. So depending on where you're at for your investment for your photography business, I want to make sure that you know that you can do this. So the first thing I want you to do, get out a pen and paper and start writing all this stuff down. So client says yes, first step, get contract signed. And then if you have a session retainer, session fee, or maybe you require payment in full, make sure you're writing down that you send the invoice to your client that way. Okay, next, I schedule the session day. So that's the next step for me. Once I get that contract back, they're officially on the books, as I say, they're a client of mine, and I send them a link to my online scheduler. Again, this is through HoneyBook, but there's lots of amazing schedulers out there. I also highly recommend Acuity. I think they have a free version of some stuff as well. Highly recommend a online scheduler. That eliminates so much back and forth for you to go, oh, I guess I'm free this Thursday. Are you free that Thursday? Just make a schedule so you can plug in your available dates ahead of time. Send that link to your clients and let them discuss all their dates and everything like that, and let them fill out the best day that works for them. And this way it gives you a little bit of boundaries too. So if you don't want to work every weekend, block out a certain weekend. If you got family life or you don't want to work every night, this way it gives you boundaries. And then it's also, hint hint, a way to like seem booked out. If you only have 2 available sessions that week and you book both of them, great, you are booked out. So use this as an advantage. Send a link to them that they can fill out their official spot. And then what I personally do is I also write it in my physical day planner. I'm just that way. That's not necessary, but I'm just breaking down exactly what I do. I write down their session day because I like to work backwards from their session day. Okay, so far after they say yes, what we've done is we have them sign a contract and pay a retainer if needed for you and your business. And then we also have their session date scheduled officially. So Next, once their date is scheduled, I send them a welcome email. And in this welcome email, of course, again, affirming that they made a good decision. I'm so excited about their session day. This is where I plug in any client education. So style guides, any photo shoot prep day guides, wardrobe guides, I guess that's the same as style guides, checklist. If you have a checklist you can give to your clients so they know what to bring the day of. Any helpful client education information, I load it in this welcome email. And I don't care if they're booking 6 months in advance or a week before in advance, which thankfully doesn't happen anymore, but no matter when they're booking their actual session, I send this welcome email immediately after they're on my books, basically, after their official client. Again, it's reaffirming that I've got them, like I'm in control, I see them, they're on the books. Oftentimes they've paid a retainer for their services with me, so they've already spent money with me, so I just, again, want to affirm that they made a really good decision. So I'm giving them all the tips to prepare for the session day. Again, I'm sending this email through HoneyBook, where it has all the attachments. I make templates. Again, I guess this is like a bonus thing. Eventually, when you're writing these emails, create templates so you're not rewriting these emails over and over again. But if you don't have anything fancy like HoneyBook, you also can do this in like Gmail. They have things called canned responses, which is just email templates. So save those as templates so you're not rewriting everything, and then just make sure you're customizing it per client. If you need a tutorial on how to make canned responses in Gmail, I'm happy to do that, but there's also lots of really good resources on YouTube. You can just search how to create canned responses in Gmail and you can find that out for yourself. Yeah, you want to just, again, create systems to make things faster for you. But create an email template. You can even start just in Word or a document and then type it out just so you have a copy and paste something so you're not reinventing the wheel. We're trying to help speed up the process for you. So now, again, recapping: contract and session retainer paid. They are on the books with their schedule picked out, their session date. And they've received their welcome email full of lots of guide and education. Next, I want you're moving into kind of the planning stage now. So think about how you actually want to plan a session with your client. Are you a photographer that likes phone consultations? Do you like to do an in-person consultation? Do you like just emailing back and forth? Whatever makes you most comfortable. You need to write out the process of what that looks for you. For me, I send a questionnaire to get to know my clients because I work with high school seniors. I really want to know their style, what they like, what they don't like. So I just make a little questionnaire. Again, I can make this in HoneyBook and send it to them, but there are other platforms you can use. You can actually just type it out in an email and have them answer it back in an email. There are things like Jotform. I used Jotform for many years. There's also a free version. I think you can do like 5 different contracts and forms, and that one's nice because you can like have them upload files if you want them to do that. Basically, I would recommend some kind of questionnaire that they can answer so you can get to know them, or have a kind of a script outline of a questionnaire that you can go through as you're talking with them on the phone. So just figure out how that process is for you. That's going to be very different per photographer. Again, for me, I send that questionnaire out usually about a month before their session, and then I also schedule a fashion consultation, so I do go meet with them in person and I help plan everything out with them. Again, that's not necessary, especially if you're just doing like mini sessions or something like that, but these are my full-blown clients, so I do a lot of prep work with them and I meet with them a lot. But basically the planning stage is just going to be what your consultation part is going to look like. So just write down if that's going to be email, in person. Zoom chat is great too. You could just do a Zoom call to talk about it. Especially if you've never met these clients in person before, I strongly recommend some kind of like interaction before the photo shoot day. It just breaks the ice. Make sure you know what each other looks like. Again, puts skin in the game for them so they'll actually show up and everything. So strongly recommend some kind of consultation where you're talking to each other beforehand if possible. And after I have the consultation with them, I schedule professional hair and makeup for my client. That's part of the experience they get with me. So I make sure to have the day planned and the location and all the things. So 2 things. So I send a final email reminder the day before their session, just reminding them to download their checklist if they haven't already, that I'm so excited and that I've got them. Again, reaffirming them that the time, the place, location, all the things, and their hair and makeup details. I reaffirm that. And then I also create a little client gift that I give to my clients at the end of the session. It just makes the experience elevated a little bit more, and so I make sure I have that prepared and ready to go the day of. And then of course the last step is the actual session day, to show up with all your gear prepared. I even write that down, like the things I need to make sure is charged, clean, that I have my lenses, all the things that I need to bring with the session. And the more and more you do this, you'll get in a routine. It takes me maybe like a few minutes to check everything to make sure it's in my car and everything. But again, systems and templates. So we want to do this over and over again so you feel confident going into the day of. So whatever your pre-session ritual is as far as getting your equipment ready together, write that down and have a little checklist for yourself so that you can refer back to it. If you feel like you're missing something, just go, oh yeah, I got that. So just to recap, the onboarding process for clients, kind of mine in particular: 1, we're getting the contract signed and session retainer paid if needed. 2, that we are scheduling their actual session day so they're on my calendar. 3, I'm sending them a welcome email with all the session guide prep tips that I have. 4, I'm sending a questionnaire to get to know them prior to this shoot, or I'm planning the consultation in that email, whatever your process is. So 5 is the actual consultation that I meet with my clients beforehand. Usually I try to do about a week before the session, but you can do it however fits best for you. And 6, I schedule pro hair and makeup for my clients. 7, I send a final email reminder of all the details of the session date and then just how excited I am. And then 8, I'm just preparing all my equipment and make sure I have everything for the session the day of. And then of course the last few steps are actually photographing the session. So I hope this was helpful, breaking down what it looks like to onboard your client, process that it looks like. I would really encourage you to write down when these happen, like a month before the session, a week before the session. That way you can keep your calendar really organized, and you also can make sure to factor in that time in your calendar too. It really helps you to see like family events and all the things so you're not overwhelmed. Alright guys, I hope that was helpful. As a reminder, I have that free email template down in the description box below that you can grab. That's fully customizable. It's the email I send every time somebody asks about my prices. So feel free to copy that if you need it. And then also, if you're interested in working with me, I have those mentor spots open. So please fill out that questionnaire so I can get to know you and see if we are a good fit. And until next time guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!